Ah, there you go. Ah, hi friends, how you doing? Doc South here, and I don't know. I see today, or I guess that we're looking at the last weekend in July 2019, and I guess this is pretty much one of the anniversary of Woodstock. I don't know what anniversary it is. Is it the 45th or the 23rd? I really don't know. Woodstock, I remember, was definitely someplace I didn't want to go. Yeah, my first wife and I, we had an antique shop in the town of Chester, New Jersey. A nice shop. It was pretty nice, and everybody. Of course, we were fairly young. We got married awfully young, and the and and we had the store. And I remember, I think there were people that they were going to go up to Woodstock. Hey, come on, you want to go to Woodstock? And, no, we got the store to run. Oh, you folks aren't cool. Look at you, man. Hey, you're a drag. And yeah, but we got to pay the rent. Yeah, no, you don't have to pay the rent. Just no, we do. And there's an auction coming up. We'd like some money so we can go to the auction, get more antiques. Yeah. And no, man, come on, Woodstock. Nah, well, and then I guess they left, heading up, and of course we weren't cool, but we were making some money, at least a little. And I remember hearing the reports to Woodstock. Oh my gosh, the one thing I can remember, I know it was, I guess, great music and everything, but man, I didn't like the idea of those 30-mile traffic jams and everybody walking to get there, and all the mud and what they have. Maybe for all those people, they had something like four porta johns. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds like fun. Oh. I did like the movie and that they made of it, and but for the most part, oh, I was so thankful I didn't go. Oh my heavens. Um, this morning I asked Sandy if she would go to Woodstock. If she was, let's see, when Woodstock happened, she would have been about 11. So she said, yeah, she said, I would have gone. And she would have. That's the thing. Yeah, she'd have been, oh yeah, she'd have been the first one there. You can see her up on stage dancing. But no, that did not sound like fun to me. I'm thinking, my God, I'd lose my truck. You can see in the movie all the mud and everything. Oh, and a lot of times, I guess the live music was pretty cool to watch, but sometimes I don't know. I just like listening to a record. They've done a whole bunch of takes. They got just what they want. Good. Up on Woodstock, my gosh, everybody's they were probably all crocked or stoned and playing and stuff. I don't know. I suppose the skinny dipping might have been fun, but other than that, yeah. But actually, no, because I'm thinking what those ponds. Oh, I wouldn't want to even think of testing the water up there. Oh, or drinking the water. Some of it, yeah, some of it. If the coliform didn't get you, the LSD would, or both. Oh, what? Intestinal distress and LSD at the same time? I don't think so. Oh, I'll tell you, I had to help make money to help support the store. I worked also for actually, I think it was Bell Labs. Yeah, Bell Labs down in Murray Hill, New Jersey. I believe it was Murray Hill, down near Summit, and I had most everybody in the place. It was sort of, well, it was a lab, and with all sorts of computer support, clerical support, and stuff. And everybody there wore their hair in a crew cut. Yeah, pretty much everyone had a flat top haircut. Yeah, crew cut. And I had my hair long. Yeah. And boy, you should have seen the looks. But again, I didn't, they automatically assumed I was some kind of hippie, and I really wasn't. I thought long hair looked pretty nice. I kind of liked running around looking like I was from the Civil War. And they, I I had been in the service. Yeah, I did get discharged way too early, but so I had a well, I had an honorable but convenience of the government. But still, I was in. I until they got me out of there. I was perfectly happy in the Navy. It was great, and made it through boot camp and all that. And I think I would have liked it. But they gave me a job working in a room they called the bursting room, where all these reports came out of the computer, and they came out in this big long sheet, sometimes 5 layers thick, 9 layers thick, just like toilet paper. Yeah, just like a lot like toilet paper, only folded. Yeah, and you had to bust up the sheets and then put them into order and get rid of the carbon paper. So, it was called the bursting room. And we were in sort of like the room, we were in the department that evidently handled payroll and paying the bills and the reports. And that's what we did. There'd be this mountain of reports that the computer generated, probably something now a smartphone could do. You could do on a smartphone, but they had like a whole floor full of computers. Okay. So I was in that room working, and my fellow coworker was a fellow named Stu. And Stu was an Army veteran. And I remember him, I think he was one of the coolest people of the 60s that I met. Most everybody was kind of a drag. They were too stuck in whatever philosophy or lifestyle they wanted, and they and nothing else would do. But Stu was pretty much, he go with the flow. And I remember him and I we're working on some of the forms. I think one of the forms got stuck in the machine. We're trying to clear it out without. And then the machine, you had to wear a tie. And we're always afraid the darn machine was going to catch hold of our tie and drag us into the machine. Could happen. Stu gave me a good idea, though. He said, what you do is you snip the tie back, most of it off. You cut it almost all the way through and put that under your collar. Then if the bursting machine catches your tie, it'll just rip your tie off and not your head. That made sense. That made sense. So we're working on a report. Stu said, and I had just met Stu, basically, and we're getting to know each other each day working in that room. And I remember him, he said, so what, you were in the Navy, I hear? I said, yeah. I said, but I got thrown out. They said I lied on my enlistment papers, and I don't know. I like the Navy. I have an honorable, but it's convenience of the government. And I usually in a place like Bell Labs, you were told not to even say that because people would hate you on sight. Most of them being veterans. Well, Stu was a veteran, and I said honestly, I kind of dug it. I wanted to be a corpsman, and he said. Well, he said, I'll tell you the truth. He says, them throwing you out probably saved your life. Corpsmen weren't doing too well in Vietnam. He said they'd be going home in bags like pretty heavy. He says, you're better off. He says also, hey, you served, you're out. Yeah, sure, you only served about 3 months, but you're a veteran. I said, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, and he says, if had you stayed in, he says, I'm sure you would have done fine, but you'd be glad to be out. You got out sooner, that's all. He says, you tried. I said, yeah, I guess so. Stu, I always thought was a very easygoing guy. You could explain almost any philosophy to him, and he'd say, yeah, that don't sound too bad. Yeah, like that. And then one day I remember I get a call from the boss. The head of the department calls me in to his office. And I said, oh, man, what's this? What'd I do now? And I sit down with him. Now, this is a guy with the horn-rimmed glasses, crew cut. You can land a plane on it. Yes. Okay. He's sitting there at his desk. He's working on a report. He says, just sit down. Sit down, South. And he's writing his report. He says, okay. He says, he looks me in the eye and he says, there's people, there's people saying that your hair's too long and you look like a darn hippie. And he's looking at me, he's looking right through me. And I'm saying, well, yeah, I wear my hair long, yeah, but gee, I don't know. I mean, he says, if any of those people come up to you and give you trouble because you're wearing your hair long, you send them to me, and I'll rip them a new one. What? He says, damn it, he says, this is America. People can be what they want to be. You look like you're a good worker. I've never seen you in here where you weren't cooperative or very helpful. You're okay in my book. I don't care how darn long your hair is. Just keep it tied back so you don't get pulled into the bursting machine. Yeah, I said that happened with my tie. He says, for crying out loud, when you're in there, take the tie off. Jeez. But I can still hear him saying, you let me know and we'll get him. I often wonder if later in life if he grew his hair long. I'll bet he did. He had plenty of hair. He wasn't bald or anything. I hope he did. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was the 60s, I think. Everything was so darn... You had to belong to one thing or another. And if you were a member of one group, 8 other groups didn't like you on sight. It seemed kind of... Yeah, a lot of assassinations, too. Oh, God. Yeah, one thing after another. Riots and stuff. Everybody getting so bent out of shape instead of just living and let live, it seemed. I don't know. I'll have to sit and think as to the time in the era in America I liked best. I'll have to think on that. But, yeah, the 60s, I don't know. Too many Woodstocks and not enough Porta-Johns, it seemed. Yeah. Anyway, I'll see you later, friends. Thank you, and ta-ta. Bye now.